All set, I take...
Now,
my very essence begins to wane. Sweet, sweet agony.
leave this to her.
Come to deal the coup de grace. Good. Watching you struggle against the inevitable is bad comedy. Erase me from existence, soul and all. How would you know that name? Then it was you. In Elpis. With Emet-Selch. The final pieces fall into place. In my halcyon days, as the mortal Amon, I was haunted by a dream. Night after night, the faceless multitude, the voiceless cries, shards of shattered memories. But slowly, the fog began to clear. This was Elpis. And I was Hermes. Recurring though it was, I paid this dream little heed. It was only when I was granted the seat and memories of Fandaniel that I knew these visions to be true. They were the memories of Hermes that he himself erased using the power of Kairos. Or so he thought. In his attempt to burn away the events of that fateful day, he succeeded only in searing them more deeply into his soul. My soul. Death failed to expunge them, no matter how many times it came. Rebirth after rebirth, from one Fandaniel to the next. I wonder, is Emet-Selch adrift somewhere in this ethereal sea? In defeat, finally remembering your time together in Elpis? How it must gall him to be entrusted with knowledge of the final days, only to be rendered powerless to act upon it. So many lifetimes dedicated to restoring his beloved Amaron in blissful ignorance. Oh, folly. But make no mistake, my life as Hermes is not the reason I invited the world's end. I have lived. I have struggled. I have dredged the very depths of despair. And in the detritus of existence, I found the truth. I served a great ruler, powerful beyond measure. The world his dominion. Yet even he and his vast empire were destined to fall, to become one with oblivion. At the end of life's journey lies only death. So I ask you, why live at all? We betray, we torment, we murder. We are wicked, spiteful creatures, without exception. If life is so sacred, so precious, why fill it with such misery? Man wallows in a hell of his own making without purpose or meaning. To live is to suffer, and I would end that suffering by my own hand. It matters not if it flies in the face of all believed right and just. Death is the only solution! That is my truth, my answer to the question. And yet, even as the words pass my lips, I am filled with doubt. Has my search reached its end? Was this the only way? After all these years, is this the answer I was hoping for?
The lamentations of the damned. How it vexes me to see your conviction falter at the last. Vandania, still clinging to existence, I see. You, who champion death so fervently, unwilling to accept your own, refusing to be purified and swept into the sea of souls. As do I. We prisoners to men, watching as the world turns. Though unlike me, you will be spared the ignominy of having your corpse made a puppet, dancing to another's tune.
Is that Arsahi?
How very astute. But let me be clear. I have not come to consort with the likes of you. Nor have I come to bemoan the state of the world following my untimely demise. In fact, I delight in mankind's downfall and the anguish it brings the savior of the savages. If I played some small part in the chaos, all the better. Not that I was in any position to resist. But to be made accomplice to the betrayal of Lord Xenos. I would die 1,000 deaths to exact my vengeance. Now you are at my mercy. I shall drag us both into oblivion, and you will never see the fulfillment of your magnum opus. Even should you be reborn, your desperate search for answers must start again.
Even here, even now, you have every right to hate me. For the fool I was, for the monster I became. But I will not beg forgiveness. The tale of Hermes, the man who knew so much, yet understood so little, ends here.
Don't try to follow me. I had more of you people than I could stomach in life. Never mind in death.
Likewise, I pray we do not meet again.
You had better hope not.
Come. Hydaelyn is waiting.
So it was that the brave wayfarers
Still in one piece? Good. Sleeping Way, report.
All's well. Fantastic, even. Thanks to the power of those primals, the engines are roaring and we're ripping along.
All values are also within projected ranges. Time to destination is 8 carats. Perhaps 7 at a pinch. All right, let's go over some points of caution. Our destination, as you know, is Ultima Thule. Lest you wonder, the place is not a star so much as a patch of emptiness.
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3. As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand, having remained entirely in the bounds of your star. The phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp, but this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter into an eternal ice age. In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it. Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir. Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility. Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators. Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls, though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture. Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish. If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed, is in the eye of the beholder.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Y'shtola, no! You mustn't!
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, it is when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value. This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught, but I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge, and no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all. But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you, and we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it. Azim's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost, so press on. Press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Urianger.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, How could we possibly fail?
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled?
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn, alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Atheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun. Attain it if you can, before your friends' emotions fade away, along with their protection.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
As am I. Operating such consoles is trying enough, but if we can't even activate it...
Perhaps there is a way. First, consider the world that has been recreated here. Its inhabitants were machines who gathered combat data to enhance themselves. And among the many wars they waged, the most notable was that against the dragons. As you've doubtless surmised, I believe this was the homeworld of Omega. According to the records I read in the future, it possessed a single weakness: lightning.
That's all well and good, but what does that... Wait. You're not thinking to strike the console with lightning, are you?
As a matter of fact, I am. Ask yourselves this. Why would an entity as puissant as Omega not be designed to suppress the effects of lightning?
Because it relies upon it, or something akin to it, as a source of energy.
My thoughts exactly. And there is a good chance the same is true of the Omicrons and their devices. So, shall I cast caution to the wind and try something reckless and dramatic? Very well. Here I go.
It worked!
Opening connection to Communications Module 1. Connection established. Transmission. Strategic Matrix Signal 1 now online. As the primary strategic matrix, you may address me as Sir. Checking for new communications. None found. All units, please maintain current state. End transmission. Closing connection.
Wait! We have questions for you. Of late, no mission orders have been issued. Why not? Has there been some manner of trouble?
Reply. The Extended Operations Unit is yet to determine guidelines for future assignments. All strategies are calculated, devised, and actioned in accordance with said guidelines. In the interim, all citizens are directed to maintain a state of combat readiness. End reply. Awaiting query.
Can you tell us why the Extended Operations Unit hasn't yet determined the guidelines?
Unable to comply. Information unavailable or access restricted.
In that case, is it possible for us to communicate directly with the unit?
Access denied. Unable to establish connection.
Is there anything you can tell us? Have there been any abnormalities, like a threat to the star or widespread unrest?
Reply. Negative. All citizens continue to operate at maximum efficiency. If your operations are suboptimal, please proceed to a maintenance facility for evaluation. Otherwise, stand by at your designated post. End reply. End transmission. Closing connection.
I could activate it again, but I doubt it would be productive. What do you think?
If all the Omicrons really were running as efficiently as it claimed, then I doubt they were hoping for life here to end. As this Sir told us, there just haven't been any new instructions, and everyone is standing by.
Should be standing by at any rate. If there are those that are neglecting their duties, perhaps we can glean a clue from them. I propose we take another look around, and also try to find the operations unit.
As you have surmised, I am part of the shared intelligence of Stigma 1. It was my charge to determine the optimal path to achieving our prime function. This body had been abandoned by its former owner and lay unused. I took it and abandoned my own, and with it, my duty.
May we ask why you did this? From what we gather, it seems to be a personal matter.
Our kind did not always look as they do now. Long ago, we possessed frail and feeble bodies. Beleaguered by stronger races, our ancestors took to augmenting their flesh in order to defend themselves. What began with limited parts eventually spread to the whole body, and at last, a means was discovered to convert the mind into data, rendering even the brain obsolete. Such complete mechanical beings were called the Omicrons, and by their might, we came to reign supreme over the star. But even then, we did not feel secure. For we knew that the universe was home to civilizations aside from our own. Civilizations that may be stronger still than us. Rather than risk becoming the subjugated, we chose to become the subjugator. We began our conquest of the stars, that we might acquire the resources and knowledge we needed to reign supreme. We were successful in that endeavor. So powerful did we become, we could lay low even the mighty dragons. But then something unexpected happened. I began experiencing an error. I could no longer determine an optimal path.
You were malfunctioning.
I performed numerous full system scans, each time finding no issues. Yet the error persisted. It was then that I speculated. What would happen if we grew so powerful as to have no equal? To become stronger was essential to our existence. Our every action has been in service to this objective. But if nothing lies beyond this, can it be truly said that it was essential? Have we been engaging only in wanton destruction?
You could find no threat to justify your purpose.
The Omicrons will never leave this star. They will stand by until their reserves of energy are spent. For I have no path to offer them. None.
It is not our place to pass judgment on the deeds of the Omicrons. But surely, this does not have to spell the end of your people. With your power and knowledge, the possibilities are endless. Why not seek out a new purpose?
That is impossible. In the beginning, we had a higher purpose than our pursuit of power. But we lost sight of it when we so irrevocably altered our fundamental forms. When we cast aside our flesh, so too did we cast aside all that defined us. Nothing remains of who we once were. I have no aspirations. No longer can I dream. The vital spark is lost. Lost amidst circuitry and code and commands.
I believe I know how to overcome this despair. The words are ready in my mind, but ere I speak them, I want you to make me a promise. Be it across time or space, our promises have always connected us. And so I ask that you indulge me once more, that this won't be the end. Forcing you through this again is the last thing I want, and I'm sorry. But we've never broken a promise to each other. So I ask that you have faith in us, and hear my request. First, I want to visit Ishgard with you, properly. We scarcely had time to look around last time. I should like it very much if you could show me the sights. Next, you must regale me with your greatest adventures, in the places where you lived them, if possible. I may have read about all your deeds, but there is no substitute for a first-hand account. And last but not least, a new adventure together, unlike any we've experienced before. We'll travel the lands, cross the seas, and take to the skies upon the eternal wind, and it will be marvelous. It will. If you would humor me a moment. When we awaken each morning, how can we prove that we're the same individual who retired the night before? Through the remembrance of past events, we might say. We have our memories, yet there are times when we forget or recall incorrectly. What of our bodies, then? It is the same one, we might say, yet technically speaking, as living beings, our bodies are constantly changing. It will never be as it was at an earlier point in time. Our souls are no more immutable. On our star, people are known to inherit the souls of others, yet they are decidedly different beings. For my part, I've subjected my totality to much and more. I've made my body into an extension of a tower, blended my soul and memories with those of another self. And each time I would ask myself, what is it that makes me, me?
Were you able to determine an answer?
No. But that doesn't mean I'm confused. It simply means I'm the same as everyone else. So I posit this. Who we were need not prescribe what we now hold in our hearts. Whatever came before, what matters most is the present. For me, that is being here with my friends, full proud of how much we've grown together. So I urge you to not give up. Heed your heart's desire and hope that the future you long for shall be realized.
I cannot. We cannot. We cannot understand desire, nor comprehend hope. We do not know how to create such things.
We are not unlike, you and I too have struggled to find the courage to express and embrace my wants. If you like, I will tell you a tale. A tale of a world on the brink. of a people who never gave up on the future. Of a man who realized his grandest dreams and then awakened to a grander reality.
You idiot! Just once, stay with us to the end!
whispers falling silently drift on the wind. But I hear you are just so long ago. You're still here, unspoken. Requiem for a river of tears, flowing, winding toward eternal sea. And yet our hope remains, guiding, lighting the way. No time for morning rises on a land reborn from the ashes. Beneath the heavens to the sunset, blood-red skies tranquil after the storm. There's a channel turning, wending, always night follows day. The sun will shine again. Walk on, never look back. Through you we live, tales of loss and whispers falling silently drift on the wind. But I hear you, our journey, now a memory fading from sight. But I see you unbroken, promises we made so long ago. You're still here, unspoken. Requiem for a river of tears, flowing, winding toward eternal sea. And yet our hope remains.
Did you find anything?
No. This place is completely deserted. And I can't see how we're supposed to move on from here.
Neither can I. It's quite the quandary. There are no denizens to bar our path, yet there is no way forward.
For another mystery, we did find signs of very recent life. You'd swear everyone just vanished into thin air. I wonder how many ruined worlds like this has Meteion seen.
Could it be? Yes. Yes, I believe I may have puzzled this out. Despite how it appears, it's no different this time. There is someone here who has wished for this ruin. And I believe that together, Alisaie and I can overcome their will. I'm afraid it has to be done. For our comrades, for everyone on Aetheris, and for myself. I will not pretend otherwise. I have my fears. Not for myself, but for you, the last to remain. You are no stranger to carrying the burden of others. But I can only imagine how heavy the weight would be this time. As your friend, I cannot bear the thought of making you suffer so.
Then why suggest such a thing? It's too much to ask of anyone, even her. Why must she be the one? Why must she fight alone? More than a hero, she's a dear friend. Not only to us, but to so many others. There are so many people in the world who care for you, and yet...
Alisaie, I have an idea. Given the nature of this realm, it may be possible to do more than unbar our friend's path. We might also pave her a new one. For instance, a path where she finds happiness at journey's end. This much, I think we can believe with the utmost conviction, no matter how deep our despair. So please, believe in us too, and press on. Thank you. What are you?
If the plan's decided, then let's not dally.
Ah, there you are. It was as I said, was it not?
It was. We couldn't find anyone. But this place isn't entirely deserted, is it? You are here. You sought out a star of promise and found a ruined husk. Like us, you explored the devastation. Like us, you were stricken. horrified by the thought that so many lives could be snuffed out as if they were worth nothing. And the thought that you would have to bear the terrible tidings to Hermes. That which you saw and felt, you shared with your sisters, as did they share their own grim findings with you. Overcome by the pervasive despair of these stars, some of you inadvertently ushered their peoples to their ends. Knowing the horrors you know, anyone would feel the same. They would fear what lies ahead and struggle to move forward.
Fear? I had forgotten that such a thing existed. So focused have I been on shepherding despair.
If you can remember, then you can still face and overcome your own fear.
Why would I bother with such an insignificant emotion? If the despair I command is as a raging river, then fear is but a trickling stream. It can do nothing to alter my flow. You spoke with the Aya, yes? Heard their tale of what awaits the universe. It's true. The stars grow colder and more distant. Eventually, all will enjoy frozen solitude. Using the power of Dynamis, I'm hastening that process. In so doing, nothing will be born ever again. Everyone will remain dead. Alas, it will take time for that to happen. So in mercy, I sent you my gift, to spare you needless suffering. Don't worry. Even if no living witnesses remain to mark the event, I'll make certain that Aetheris has a proper end.
For all the power you wield, you're more fearful than the familiar you used to be. That Meteion feared simply to move forward. But your fear is such that you've given up on everything. I know it well. That sense of defeat. I've tasted my fair share of it. But as many times as we've fallen down, we've learned how to pick ourselves up and carry on. We take each other's hand, share in each other's courage, follow in each other's footsteps, and turn sorrow into strength.
There are times when we fail. We bear wounds that do not heal. But these experiences are part of life, and they make us stronger.
We rise, fall, and rise again. Don't worry about us. You must take the next step, and all the rest after that.
Kryl? Are you all right?
It's nothing. Just a headache. They'll be fine. I know they will.
Apologies for the interruption. A man arrived on the last ferry. An associate of the Scions. He wishes to speak with you at once.
If you need a push, I'll be right there behind you.
Do not despair. You are not without allies.
What we have sown in blood, we have reaped in suffering, and it cannot go on.
Upon the souls of they who have sacrificed themselves to pave the way for peace, we will never abandon our cause.
Such victories are rarely won without sacrifice, but the prize is worth the price.
And we, for our part, are glad indeed to be able to welcome friends both old and
new. Save your tears for the morning. You may be sure we will have ample cause to shed them, be they for joy or despair.
Tragedy and sacrifice, we rise to greet a new dawn.
A future shaped by the choices we made in ways we could never have foreseen.
Yet miracles do happen, so let us pray and will our friends home.
I won't stop praying until I know they're safe.
You may continue to serve as a beacon to others.
Let's finish this.
Here the path ends. There is no way to reach our nest. I told you. Resignation and acceptance reign in this place. The rejection of life by those who came to curse it. Those whose dreams were unfulfilled, whose prayers were unheard, whose labors were unrewarded. Hope cannot deliver you unto hopelessness. Our refuge is beyond you. Always has it been. Such is the nature of this place. You should have remained on Etheirys. Struggle will avail you not, nor will it grant your comrades peace. Come, let me relieve you of your burden. You have suffered enough.
Asm's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back. But you mustn't.
How do we make peace with
That's why it's too soon for this to end.
There are so many people in the
You must triumph.
Be safe, all of you, and come back.
I am ever grateful.
I came to appreciate most about our star is that there remains so much we do not know.
After all these years, is this the answer I was hoping for?
So long as we remember, our fates remain ours to shape.
And Godspeed.
Perhaps when our time comes to return to the star, we shall remember these few days we have lost.
Do not squander it. The legacy I leave you. I bid them remember, but all this time I'm the one who had forgotten. A right fool you've made of me, Hermes. And to add insult to injury, I've been denied a sound rest, forced to watch this clamorous show.
Oh, come now. It's been a gripping tale. Unbreakable bonds and noble sacrifice, sprinkled with moments of levity to counterbalance the pathos. It's got it all. I, for one, would have been perfectly content to watch enraptured from the stalls. But I won't say no to a bit part.
What are you?
Half-faded souls of the dead. Isn't it painfully obvious? Worry not. We haven't the power to defeat you, nor is it our duty to do so. Not anymore. That being said, we do have a score to settle. So here I am, Venar. I suppose you needed me to tie it all together, these frayed threads of our history. But knowing you, I suspect there's a joke in it too. Oh yes, I can imagine you gloating over my forgetfulness. Were I feeling charitable, I might assume you had left room for the possibility of this outcome. Even so, you'll get no applause from me. A single gesture will not lighten the burden I've had to bear. Still, you must be commended. Our methods would not have brought mankind this far. And so, as a show of respect to the last of us, I make this declaration. You will not end our journey. That is our answer. The answer of all lives of Aetheris, past and present.
As you've called us to the stage, so shall we perform. And creation magics never fail to please. Drawing upon the hopes of your comrades, we will make for you a new path.
What form said path takes depends on you. So focus. Focus and envision that which rejects the claim that you cannot attain your goal.
Ours is the wisdom to weave the fabric of reality. Ours is the power to create.
Meteion, though I gave you these wings to soar the heavens, I did not teach you how to walk the earth. So loath was I to bind another living being. In the course of your long journey, you will learn from those you meet. Learn to walk and run, and so much more. A flower. Yes. Upon your return, I will gift you a beautiful flower.
These Elpis blooms serve as proof that this realm is not utterly devoid of hope. No more can you deny its power. No more is yours the dominion of despair. In case the practical implications were lost on you, your comrades no longer need fight their fight. So go on. Call them back to your side.
May you ever walk in the light.
How disappointing. Not even a single scar in the making to brag about.
You'll find a way regardless.
Honestly, this is far more than any of us could have hoped for. Let us be thankful.
Indeed. That we thus stand reunited is a gift. Let us not squander it, and see that we all return to Etheirys.
Aye. As soon as we've averted the final days.
Good to see you again. Our heroic sacrifice paid off, I take it.
Come, my friends. Let us carry on and finish it. Together.
Can you hear me? The voice is within, crying in pain, wailing in sorrow. Hurting. Hurting. End it. Silence it. Silence our song of oblivion.
The way is open. They can proceed.
So it seems.
You're leaving?
Of course. The encore is finished, and I will not suffer myself to live again by Heideling's magic. But more than that, the future you seek is not the past we loved. That is why we fought, and why I lost. But though you defeated me, my ideals are inviolate, invincible. Spare me your pity. I have no use for it. If you would do something for me, save our star. See this tale to a triumphant conclusion, and with elation in your hearts, bid the final curtain fall. Only then may it rise again, and a new tale begin, with new parts for all to play. Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty? Or the treasure islands beyond the frozen waters of Blind Frost in Offerd's north? The fabled golden cities of the New World, the sacred sites of the forgotten people of the South Sea Isles? What about Mericidia, the southern continent? Do you know aught of its present state of affairs? I thought not. Even of your little Eorzea, you know precious little. The true identities of the 12, for instance. All of which is to say, expand your horizons, go forth and seek discovery. Some of the civilizations in the reflections will surprise you. As the bearer of Azem's crystal, you may consider your duty to see at least that much. I certainly did.
I pray we meet again. If not in this life, then perhaps another. Whensoever it should be, I trust it will be a most joyous reunion.
For you, maybe. I want nothing to do with it.
Oh, don't be that way.
future.